so welcome to the Profit Producers podcast. This is definitely an impromptu podcast, but I needed you to hear my voice. Yeah, I needed to see you, and I need you to see me. So this is where we're gonna be. All right, so today I want to talk about how society is slamming Pinky Cole for the decisions that she's made in her business and having to file for Chapter 11. And fast forward, what she's really doing is she's really now building a brand for herself and really creating a platform. I'm going to look up real quick because I want to share some information with you. So let's go back really quickly because this is all elevated like super really fast. And I did an article about a month ago when she actually filed. So now I have looked up. I wanted because I want to make sure that I give you guys the right stuff. I'll put any references to posts that I use in the chat or somewhere, so that you guys can reference it. But I mean, she's had so much that has happened in Community I, meaning, even from not owning her business anymore to filing Chapter 11, and then there was where her home was seized, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. And the reason I want to talk about that a little bit, my name is DeKesha Williams. I am a business and webinar strategist, and I help entrepreneurs to create consistent enrollment into their ecosystems by using webinars and workshops. And so we're going to talk a little bit about, of course, how that relates to what I'm doing. And I really hope I don't mess this young lady's name up. But so let's go back for a second. Pinky Cole, Slutty Vegan, owner and founder of Slutty Vegan, started with food trucks, really expanded during the pandemic from food trucks to like 14 locations. And so she did a valuation of her business, and valued it over millions of dollars, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's $100 million the last time I checked. And so rapid growth can always be a great thing, but it also can be a scary thing if the foundation in your business is not solid. And I hear people in our industry, and I'm a coach, so I'm in the coaching industry as well. And so we hear that you are able to do a quantum leap. I'm actually reading a book by Price Pritchett, you too, right? Quick plug, U squared, actually. And it talks about, having quantum leaps. But you got to have solid systems and processes in place. And I'm not just talking about like automation. Like you have to have procedures that people can follow so that they are not relying upon you. And so I say that because she expanded to 14 different locations, and it appears that a lot of it was dependent upon her. And so she can't be in all 14 locations simultaneously. All right. So cool. So the bills started adding up. And if you don't have a team, if you don't have brick and mortars, you don't have rent, you don't know what it is to actually have, I guess, debt, or you don't know what it is to have payroll that's coming due regardless of whether or not the revenue is coming in. Okay. And so that's kind of what happened. Like she's got payroll for 14 locations and they looking for their check. You got rent or a mortgage on these locations and they looking for a check. Okay. And so, but the revenue wasn't coming in as fast as the cash was going out. So therefore, she had to actually start to like downsize and start closing those locations. And so what it was called was an ABC is what they call it. And I want to look it up because I want to make sure that I tell you correctly what the ABC stands for. If I can't find it really quickly, I will put it in the comments because this is going to be on YouTube as well. Anyway, so she worked together with this organization, the ABC, in order to basically reduce all of the assets and pay back some of the creditors. All right. So just think about if she purchased or leased all of these locations, and we haven't even started talking about the equipment that goes in each location and how much it costs to get equipment for each location. So This organization, the ABC, actually was responsible for taking control over the assets and selling them so that the creditors could be paid back. All right. And then she went on Cameron. She went on the Taryn Hall show, and she even shared that for 45 days, she did not own her company. For 45 days, she did not own her company. And once she came on the Taryn Hall show, she was so excited because she was able to purchase her company back. All right. But here comes another lesson. All right. So the next lesson is don't put you have to be careful putting your name when you're doing business. Like when you're doing things for your business, you want to make sure that you're utilizing the business name. Now, I know there are sometimes because when I first started back in 2012, 2011, I actually had a shoe company. It's called sassyshoegallery.com. And I footed the loan with the SBA, and that's actually who she owed. Okay. I footed that loan personally as well. Again, these are mistakes that you don't know when you're starting out. And so we have to learn the hard way. And it was collateral backed by residential property. So anyway, same thing with Pinky. She was able to buy back her company 45 days later, but also there's still debt, right? There's still debt. They didn't get rid of all of it. And apparently her name was attached to some of the debt. So the asset management company seized her home. So here's what I want to break down. So I actually worked in the bankruptcy department for SunTrust, the consumer side, many moons ago. And what I need people to understand is, yes, they seized her property, but they shouldn't have, right? They had no right to do so. And the reason why they had no right to do so, it's really not their fault. And here's why. When person A goes to file bankruptcy with their attorney, they are going to the court or they are filing the paperwork with the court. Okay. Again, I come from the consumer side as I share this with you. So if I am SunTrust Mortgage or SunTrust Consumer and you have your car with us, we don't have no idea what you out here doing. Ain't our problem. Ain't our business. We just know you owe us money. Okay. All right. So attorney files, and I think you can file again. I'm dating myself. You could probably file that. You could e-file this stuff now. But they're filing at the court. So what does the court do? It mails out the notification of bankruptcy file, right? The petition. And so on this petition, there's a list of all the creditors that you've included that you owe. Address, point of contact, all that stuff. Because a lot of times they tell you to get like your statements or whoever you owe and bring it all to the attorney because they're going to list all the creditors on there. And so depending on how you file, she filed an 11, which is a business reorganization, 713 personal filings. All right. Anyway, long story short, the court mails the petition to the creditors. Y'all know how long it takes to get mail? So meanwhile, consumer over here, we at our desk, and I'm just going to give you an example because we used to repo cars all the time. I actually enjoyed my job. Not that I was repoing. No, that's not what I mean. Okay. Don't y'all be judging me, but I did enjoy it. I mean, I learned a lot. Clearly, here we are. Anyway, so let's just say consumer, SunTrust, whatever, you are 120 days past due. So we are what? We're sending it down to the repo department down on the 3rd floor. All right. I worked on the 6th floor. So we're sending the paperwork down to the 3rd floor. Okay, well, we might email it downstairs to the 3rd floor. They're going to do what they're supposed to do in order to go repossess this car, BMW, whatever. So same thing. So whoever is working in the department for the mortgage, the asset management thing, they doing what they supposed to be doing at their desk. They sending it down to the 3rd floor. We need to seize this property because we haven't received X, Y, and Z. All right. 3 days later, I don't know if this is the exact date, but 3 days later, they get a notification in the mail that that particular client has filed bankruptcy. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know. When you file bankruptcy, I'm not saying that you should, but listen, I'm here to educate. When you file bankruptcy, there is an automatic stay that is put in place to stop all creditors from collection. That is why people do it. They do it to protect themselves from having their bank accounts, put hold on their bank account, withdrawing money out of their bank account, seizing properties, repossessing vehicles, boats, motorcycles, you name it. So the automatic stay is the protection for the debtor, for the person that's actually filing. All right. So that's kind of how the mix up with the house happened. So she did get her property back. Like, they had the right, but they had no right. And if they didn't get the bankruptcy petition before they did the paperwork, you see where the overlap happens? All right. So it is what it is. But again, our society, they take something, they run with it. Oh, her house been seized. Da 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 da. Da. Oh, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. And that's why I love the fact that she's doing the videos, she's doing the skits, because at the end of the day, she's educating. And Pinky Cole, what I love about her is that she's always lived out loud. And some people are criticizing for living out loud, but I admire it as a business owner because I've read her book, I Hope You Fail. We were in a book club. And I was like, what kind of book is I Hope You Fail? But she's sharing all of the things that she has been through to save you, entrepreneur, from making the same mistakes that that she has in the past. Even down to, I think one of her businesses caught on fire and she didn't have fire protection. It wasn't required, right? Again, lesson learned. And I just love how she lives out loud. And I hope that she continues to live out loud, just because even if she can touch one soul, she's doing the work. As I always say, we just down here doing the Lord's work. Okay. But anyway, so fast forward to now, she is doing a webinar and her name is Sequoia and she's the founder of Simply Built. And it sounds like they came together. Sequoia was actually the one that helped put those teams of systems and operations in her business. And now they're coming together to do what? A webinar. Let me hear you say it. A what? A webinar. And if you know anything about me, I've been in business for over 15 years, teaching entrepreneurs how to grow and scale their business using webinars. And that is how I actually started. So that's what brings me here, because at the end of the day, webinars are not dead. And while y'all are slowly joking her, clowning her for living out loud, she's out here building a major platform. Over the last 7 days, I've seen her on the Earn Your Leisure podcast. I've seen her on the Breakfast Club podcast. Okay. She's out here building a brand, right? She's building a personal brand, but she's also educating along the way of the mistakes that she made so you won't make those same mistakes. And I have been telling people for the last 10 years that webinars are an educational platform for you to show your audience why they need your help. So this is a very smart move for Sequoia and for Pinky Cole. Pinky Cole has the story. It's a case study, right? And she's working with Sequoia, and now Pinky is building, 2.0 and other pop-ups, but she has the infrastructure. She's only going to be bigger and better than she ever has been. Let me say that again. She's only going to be bigger and better than she ever has been because she's building smarter this time. She's building based on the lessons that she has implemented. And I love being able to witness this, especially being in business over 15 years and making mistakes and growing safely or scared or, things like that, but wanting to make the quantum leap, but wanting to make sure that the infrastructure is in place. And I think that a lot of people don't share the mistakes that we have made publicly. We position ourselves as coaches and experts and six-figure entrepreneurs, right? Multiple six-figure entrepreneurs, but we don't share the mistakes that we made. Even last year, I always share that in April, what a month. We made some changes last year, April. It was the worst launch of the year. No one enrolled into any of our programs, but I could have given up. Right? Pinky could have given up, but the resilience that shows up, and I kept going, and then maybe had the best month that we've ever had. And I can see that she's on the path to be greater than what she's ever been in the past. So I am here to literally not only educate you, I am here to not only educate you, but to let you know that webinars are not a thing of the past and they are coming back with a vengeance. And the reason why they're coming back with a vengeance is because you've heard people say that we're in a trust economy. So what that means is that people are being very cautious about where they're spending their money. And so they want to know that you're not just coming with fluff. They want to know that you can help them. They want to know that you can show them, walk them through what you say that you do. Perfect example. Yes, I pride myself on helping clients to build their business using webinars and workshops, but I got 2 days, 10 hours I spend with you where we build out the messaging. We build out the actual infrastructure or ecosystem. We help you with the language that you need in your business so that you can make sure that you captivate your ideal client. Because if your messaging does not land with your client, they're going to keep rolling past your content. All right. The other thing that we do is we make sure that your sales process is intact, because we want to make sure that you are ready to go out here and enroll clients and you feel confident doing so, that you own the offer that you have. So I'm excited. Not only, maybe I need a referral link for this webinar, because I'm excited to be able to witness the webinar that Sequoia and Pinky Cole are doing. But I also am excited about helping you to launch your next webinar. So I want you to watch a free training that I put together, and it's going to walk you through understanding how webinars can be beneficial to your business. And I really walk through why they are important, why you should be using them, and how to use them in your ecosystem. So I'm going to make sure that there's a link to the free training. And then I'm going to share with you an opportunity on how you can start building out your webinars. So there's an opportunity if you want to start building out webinars that you can do so. If you are already beyond the point of, I'm already using webinars and I'm really looking at scaling, I invite you to join our upcoming 2-day workshop. It's called How to Enroll More Clients into Your Signature Program. And I actually walk you through which mechanism works for you. Like I said, I actually walk you through which mechanism, because webinars are one mechanism. There's so many different mechanisms that you can use based on the offer that you have. And so I do a training where we walk you through those mechanisms. We walk you through why, what the ecosystem should look like. I even help you identify the gaps in your business. And so once you identify those gaps, you now know where you need to focus in on building the infrastructure in your business. I can't tell you what the 5 gaps are. You got to show up. All right. So if you've enjoyed this message, I want you to share, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast as well. Leave a comment, leave your biggest takeaway, and let's spend more time celebrating each other than we do clowning each other. I'm just saying. We got to stick together, y'all. There's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, let's go together. So what better way than us sticking together so that we can go far? My name is DeKesha Williams, your webinar business strategist. Be passionate, be purposeful. More importantly, be profitable. I'll see you next time.